Hello everyone, my name is Richard John. I'm a fifth-year PhD student at MIT Mathematics. Congratulations to you all for getting admitted into the PhD program of the department. It's no small feat, and all of you should be very proud of yourself. I wish I could be giving you this tour in person. That's what I do every year in the open house. But unfortunately, due to the ongoing circumstances, I will be showing you around the department through this video. In the next 10 to 15 minutes, we'll walk through the hallways and the offices of the mathematics department of MIT. I'm currently standing in front of building 2, and as you will know later, all MIT buildings are labeled with numbers, and this department is located in building 2. I am currently standing in front of this statue, this molecular structure that is self-standing from the first floor all the way up to the 4th floor. So let's take a look at the department. So this is a very empty hallway. And as you can see, this is building 2, room 131. And we can actually get into the classroom just to see what it all looks like. Right? This is where in-person classes will take place if during normal circumstances. Actually, we can exit through here, and we can see this empty court known as the Killian Court. And all of these are the buildings of MIT. Okay, let's go back inside. Inside, as you can see here, there's a maximum occupancy of 10 people to ensure social distancing. So we're walking towards one end of the department. So this is known as, the street in front of us is known as the Memorial Drive, and the department is located at 182 Memorial Drive. That's the Charles River. And across the Charles River is Boston, so we're on the Cambridge side. The tall building that you're seeing over here is the Prudential Center of Boston. And there will be people, you see there are people running on Memorial Drive. It's a good place to jog in the morning if that is something you're into. Okay, so we will just quickly walk down this hallway. And these are offices. And again, during normal circumstances, you'll be able to reserve a study room like this where you'll be able to work collaboratively with your colleagues. Yeah. And we have reached 190, which is one of the main classrooms. And I want to say this is probably the largest room in the Department of Mathematics, not across the entire MIT, but I think, don't quote me on this, I think this is about 100-ish seats available. Okay. If you have ever taken MIT OCW, OpenCourseWare, you probably have seen these big chalks that professors like to write on the board at MIT. Okay, so let's go back to the hallway. So now we are going to go to the 2nd floor. One thing I really like about MIT is that all the buildings are interconnected, so that you can get to one place. You can go from one place to the other without going outside, which is quite nice in the winter. Okay, so we're climbing upstairs. So this is known as the Hayden's Library. It's been under construction since, I want to say, more than a year ago. By the time you get here, it's probably going to be open. Okay, so we are on the 2nd floor, and I want to take you to the lounge of MIT. The lounge of the MIT Math Department. So all of these are offices of professors. Some of the names you may recognize. Some of them you may be working with once you get here. All right, so we are here at the Norbert Wiener common room. Let's see if my ID works. Yay. All right. So this is a very nice common area. Let me turn on the light. I think this is how you, yep. Okay. So this is the common room. It's a very spacious, very nice area. Students, faculty, staff members congregate around here during normal times to chat, to catch up, to talk about mathematics, share research, talk about all sorts of stuff. This is one thing I like about the department, that there's chalkboard all over the place, so you can talk about math at any point, anywhere. Okay? And I want to say every day at 3:30, there will be coffee hours where cookies and teas and fruits will be served here. So these are the plates that that the department uses to serve complimentary afternoon tea, but obviously we don't have that right now. Right? And again, this is Memorial Drive. It's a nice morning. All right, so let's get out of here and go to the third floor. You know, if I could give one sort of unsolicited tip to incoming students, it's that once you get here, I would say talk to as many people as you can, right? I know you probably all have your own fields of interest that you want to stick to, but you never know. I think I'm a deep firm believer in cross-pollination of academic disciplines, and by talking to your colleagues and different professors, you'll be able to maybe possibly get inspired on different ideas and generate novel research. Okay, so again, these are just professor's office. So these are graduate students' office. So all incoming graduate students, all first-year graduate students, will be housed in the office, which I'm going to show you on the fourth floor. And once you become a second year and higher, you will likely be housed in one of the more cozy offices with people of the same field. All right. This is sort of the common lounge for an office suite shared by graduate students. Okay. So, by the way, if you ever TA, these would also be good places for you to host office hours. Okay. And all right, let me pause here and give a shout out to this guy, Professor Rudolfo Ruben Rosales. He is my advisor. He works on partial differential equations and fluid dynamics. If you're ever interested in those areas, he's the guy. He's also just a very nice and very caring guy in general. And that's one other thing I also wanted to say to graduate students which is that you don't, like, this is of course a personal preference, but I would say for me it's not just that. When I pick advisors, I don't just pick the ones that are smart and that are highly achieving. I also pick the ones that can actually serve as my mentor and my advisor, right? So I don't just need smart human beings. I also need kind human beings. And my advisor Ruben, he's not only smart, he's also a kind person, and that's why I picked him. Okay, so that kindness and the ability to mentor might be something that you want to factor in. But in any case, we're on the third floor, and as you can see, this is the molecular structure that we saw early on. All right, let's climb upstairs to the fourth floor. Excuse me. So we also share the space with a few chemistry labs. So this is the lab of Professor Mirsha Dinka. So we are on the fourth floor, and this is a nice little conference room that I reserve with my collaborators. Fortunately, I don't have access here, so I reserve it when I need to discuss something with my collaborators. And this is a copy room / a coffee room. So let me show you that. Okay, so this is a photocopier that you can have access to. These are different pens, pencils, chalks, papers, anything you need to do research. Right? We don't as mathematicians we don't need fancy equipment. We need pencils and papers. And this is a coffee room that's right now not in use, but during normal times you can make coffees for yourself. Okay. All right. So, and we have lots of masks. Okay, so let's get out of here. And again, these are names of professors whom you might be working with. This building is also known as the Simons Building. That's dedicated to mathematician turned billionaire Jim Simons, and that's why you see Simons lecture all over the place. This is another awesome presentation room. Okay. Yeah, so this is a really nice space. If you were able to come in person during the open house, the presentation will likely be the intro presentation to the department will likely take place in this room. At least that was the case for me. Okay, and this is obvious. This is also a place where people do seminars and run dissertation defense and things like that. Okay, just to show you what it's like outside. Actually, we can go see it. By the way, all these chairs, they actually belong out here, and people can. This is where people eat lunches and dinners and late night snacks. But obviously, to prevent the spread of COVID, the area is closed. Okay, so now this is one of my favorite spots of the department, a balcony. Okay, we have a really nice space. So yeah, just to show you around a little bit. Okay, so let's see. This tall building over here is the EAPS building. It's a green building. It's for the Department of Earth, Atmospheric, and Planetary Sciences. Those tall buildings over there are constructions in Kendall Square. So that building over here is the MIT Media Lab. If you ever heard of that place. Let's see, what else? Yeah, has a good view. So again, Hayden Library, Memorial Drive, and yeah, now it's winter and so there are no leaves, so you can actually see things. So that's the Prudential Center. This is a really nice area to hang out, especially during summer. I invite my friends here to have dinners together. And sometimes I work here even when the days are warmer. Okay, so I wanted to, again, these are professors' offices, and I wanted to show you that bridge over here. Okay, that bridge, you see, that bridge that connects Cambridge to Boston. Well, the official name is Harvard Bridge, despite that it's closer to MIT. There are several stories as to why this is happening, but yeah, I'll tell you more in person. But I just call it the MassAve Bridge, Massachusetts Avenue Bridge. And this is our department head, Michelle Human. Okay, so we are now approaching my office. to 490. This is also going to be your office when and if you come here. Okay, so this is the first year office. So all first years of the PhD students of the department get placed in here, and it's a very nice a shared office, and the goal is for all of you to mingle and get to know each other in the same cohort. It's a 22, I want to say 23 person office, although I am pretty much the only regular customer. So this is my area. As you can see, I spend a lot of time here. And you probably wonder why a fifth year is staying in a first year office. And the reason has to do with, back in the days when the downstairs office were full, and I was placed in here as a second year student, and then I liked it enough that the department said, no problem, you can stay. Okay, so this shared office has 2 floors. So we're on the 2nd floor now. Once you come here, you can pick any empty desks as you wish. Okay, so that's my office. Excuse me, that's my cubicle. Yeah, you can pick any desk of your liking, and it's first come, first serve. And again, these are large blackboards that you can write mathematics on. And let me just take you around the 1st floor. There's also a, let me show you. There's also a photocopier here that you can use. And we never run out of papers. Depending on whether you like windows, whether you don't like windows, whether you like corners or you don't, you can pick any desks as you wish. That's it. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at zrichard@mit.edu. That is zebra, zrichard@mit.edu. And thank you for spending the last 15 minutes with me. Congrats again for getting in, and I hope to see you all in September. Bye-bye.